Hi, everybody. It's me and Courtney. We're here on a surprise Wednesday night, and we're trying something new this week. We're calling this Wine Down Wednesday. So, for y'all that may not know us, cheers. We are friends that absolutely love Disney. We love food, we love wine, and we are part of a little group we like to call the Crescent Lake Club. Something more, Courtney and I, we are both New Orleans residents. So, you can see behind me, I'm ready for Mardi Gras, even though we won't have Mardi Gras this year. But we also part-time as travel agents. So we thought we might have a little fun and do special Wednesday night streams where we try some wine and we talk about the latest news and rumors and everything going on at Disney. So I picked the wine this week. Courtney gets to pick next week.
Yep.
I decided to go with one of the restaurants that's my favorite at Disney, and one, there you go, that I know their wine list pretty much back and forth. This is the 2019 Sauvignon Blanc from Cakebread Cellars, and you can find it on property at, most notably, California Grill. At California Grill, it is $18 a glass or $79 a bottle. But I was able to find it here in town for around $25. You should be able to find it where you're at for between $25 and $29. It is a young, bright Sauvignon Blanc. It was from Napa Valley. This one was actually bottled in March of 2020. I haven't tasted it yet, but Courtney had a little bit with her dinner earlier. What did you think?
I did. So my husband likes to do this smoked turkey on the grill with this really spicy dry rub, and it's so good. And I'm not even a turkey person. I find it to be generally pretty dry and bland, but his smoked turkey is so good. And so it just I didn't even know what Keely was picking out, and it went so well with this spicy turkey and some cheesy broccoli. It's so good, but it's also really just good just to drink and sip on. It turned cold here in New Orleans today. Like, I think it dropped 20 degrees. But I could just imagine sitting outside on like a nice warmer day drinking this, because it's really good. It's really good.
I tend to, Courtney can probably back me up on this. I tend to go pretty heavy on white wines that aren't Chardonnay, and I love rosés. And Sauvignon Blanc is probably my favorite version, or my favorite varietal of white wine, just because it's younger, it's brighter. It tends to go with a little bit of everything. Like, this is great, a great happy hour wine. It's great with popcorn. What's not great with popcorn? Yeah.
It feels like it'd be good with pretty much everything.
Pretty much everything. It's, early on in the pandemic, I was doing these wine and cheese virtual classes from the sommelier Dan at Commander's Palace, and he would lovingly refer to a wine like this as a porch pounder, and that's perfect. So true. That's so true. But like, the best thing about this is I love going into the lounge at California Grill right when it opens at 5. And especially during the summer at Disney, this is the perfect kind of glass of wine to sit down when you finally get into the AC for the first time in the afternoon and just, take a chill out. It's really great. So the tasting notes I have from Cakebread here, I did print out everything.
Did your research and everything.
I know. It says you should get, it's going to be very citrus forward and very acidic. And I definitely get that. I definitely get, sweet citrus. It almost has a little bit of a Satsuma orange smell to it, which is really popular around here this time of year. I don't get so much of the grapefruit, but I get kind of a melon flavor to it. But it's great. It's going to go wonderful with my dinner, which I'm having after the stream. I'm making butter chicken, which is another one of my Disney food favorites. But I also thought, so if you go to California Grill to try this wine, I got a couple of suggestions for you guys of foods that I think might pair nicely with it. Basically, any of the sushi. which sushi and white wine, they were just a match made in heaven. But definitely the spicy Kazan roll, which has, your shrimp, your scallops, a little bit of spicy tuna, and then it's got that firecracker sauce, which is, the spicy Asian mayonnaise that they put on sushi. And there's a really cool special roll on there right now called creamsicle. That's like salmon with cream cheese, but it's got jalapenos and mangoes in there. I thought that sounded really cool. And then, my favorite thing at California Grill is the Sonoma goat cheese ravioli. And this would go great with that because it comes in a tomato consomme kind of broth. Like so I think because of the acid, it'd go good with anything that's spicy. But like Courtney said, with the broccoli, any kind of bright vegetable, a broccoli, a tomato, an asparagus, I think this would go really great with it because of the acid.
Yeah.
But
and probably,
it's cake bread. You can never go wrong with cake bread.
Right. It would probably complement the not the heaviness of the goat cheese, but the creaminess, I'll say, of the goat cheese really well. And same with the cream cheese in the
creamsicle roll. Yeah. So the great thing about California Grill now too, and I think it's one of the things that the pandemic has really helped out with some of the food and lounges and the dining scene in Walt Disney World, is they've started doing virtual wait lists for walk up. So if you don't get a reservation, people don't show up and different things.
Yeah.
If you're in the vicinity of that restaurant, you can put yourself on the virtual wait list. That's how you do Nomad Lounge in Animal Kingdom, is you just make sure you put yourself on the wait list. You just have to you can be in Pandora and do it. And then you just walk up and like it'll ping you when it's your time to walk up and get a table. It's really nice. And I hope they keep that and they expand it to more restaurants.
Yeah, I had a family travel in December, and it was a family with 6 kids, so a total of 8. So it was really hard to get to get advanced dining reservations for them with 8, because a lot of restaurants aren't putting big tables. They're not taking reservation for big tables in the way that they did pre-pandemic. But I was, of course, watching her reservation at home, watching her go through the day, and she got reservations every single day at really great restaurants in park because of these virtual wait lists for her family of 8. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what we do in February.
Yeah. And you never know, how long people are going and sitting in there and, how long they're taking, if a table turns over, if people really are. What we saw at Magic Kingdom is stuff turns over so quick because really people are just going in for a drink and dessert or like an appetizer or something light just to give you AC time to sit down and hydrate and take your mask off and then get right back at it. So that's what my most interesting thing, and I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos to try and see if I can get a handle on it, and I haven't been able to yet. I think I'm gonna hit up Molly from All Ears. She's super cute. She does all of their new like dining videos and stuff to see if she can check it out. But I'm wondering if some of these restaurants that have gone to the fixed price menus, if they would if they're letting you just come in for drinks and stuff, because you can walk up Cinderella's Royal Table and be our guest, because $62 with no characters that's a hard sell. Yeah. And so, I'm just curious to see if they'll let any of these people on the walk up waiting list just come in and order a la carte drinks, or if they're doing anything different. And I feel like that could be a revenue stream for in-park food and beverage if they haven't thought about it already.
And I just had another thought as we were talking, in the way that they were having, especially when they reopened, having a really hard time guesstimating ride attraction wait time because everyone had to stay 6 feet apart. And so their cues for how long the queue were off. So now that these buffets are family style, and not having characters, you're gonna cycle people in and out a lot quicker. So I wonder if that's affecting their ability to turn over tables quicker.
Yeah, and it was I'm trying to think, when we were there in November, we ate at Tiffin's Sanaa, Brown Derby, Haleo. I know I'm missing something. So Sanaa was the only one where they took your temperature when you went into the dining room. And we'll have to circle back, and it'll be I'll check in on Sunday with the gang and ask them what their January experience was like. But Tiffin's.
Well, some of those other ones are in park, and they're taking your temperature to go in park anyway.
Right.
You know,
but
like
see, so
at Brown Derby, they would have taken
to get into the park. So my thinking was, it's compared to, so when we were at Universal, they took your temperature to get into the resort, which is what I wish Disney would do when so many people come in to dine and go into stores or just wander around the lobby. By the time you get to the restaurant, it's 6 to 1 half dozen at that point.
Yeah.
But it was, I want to say Tiffin's was the weirdest experience. Oh, and Liberty Tree Tavern, and I'll say that one for last. Tiffin's was the weirdest experience because it's almost like they scheduled the 2 dining rooms that they split you up into on like shifts. So like if your reservations were with 15 minutes of each other, you were in one room, and then you were in another. And so there was 5 of us eating at Tiffin's, and we were ordering appetizers and salads and entrees and dessert and drinks. So we were having a much longer dining experience than the table with like just one dude sitting catty corner from us that got there at the same time. And it just felt like they were really ready for us to get out of that room so they could clean everything back down. And so that kind of made the dining experience a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Liberty Tree Tavern, I thought we were going to be in the main room, but they've taken over all of Diamond Horseshoe. So we were in like super not themed and kept up with Diamond Horseshoe dining room area. Yeah, it was fine. It was just, you're eating like colonial food when I remember it from back in the day when you'd get like a sandwich and you'd watch, a Can show.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the overall experience. It was the first time for everyone there except for me, but it's been decades. And so it wasn't like the experience because we were all dressed. That's when we were dressed up in our Mickey and Minnie Christmas outfits. So that was going to be our Christmas dinner because, it's like Thanksgiving food.
Yeah, exactly. And
so
it was in that room too.
Instead, it was in like this really big cavernous ballroom thing, but still great. I could have had 3 bowls of that macaroni and cheese just by myself. It was that good.
Food there is good. It is good. So,
what are you most looking forward to food-wise for your trip? Garden Grill?
Probably Garden Grill. And like, I know it's so like, and it's not because the popcorn's that great, even though it is that great, but just the like sense memory of having popcorn and a cold Diet Coke, like halfway through the day is just like, I do that every day in the park. And so it's more like, I guess, the nostalgia of it. And again, the sense memory of being able to do that again after a year not being in the park.
I tell you what, there's something, I don't know if it's MSG or what they put in the popcorn that is
popcorn.
So maybe it was 2019 Marathon Weekend. I guess it was the last year that I ran Marathon Weekend. We did that after hours add-on event so we could do Slinky Dog. The one that came with like the free soda and water and ice cream and boxes of popcorn. And they would just literally let you just walk up and take boxes. So I sure did put 4 in my backpack, and I had it like every morning before I went to go run. Like even in the truck driving over to the start line, I'm like eating my popcorn. My friends are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, this is great. I don't want to go run a marathon, but this popcorn is going to make me feel better about it. It's carbs, it's salt. Yes. Yeah. No, the Disney popcorn.
I think after sweating, the salt feels good.
Oh my gosh.
Replenishing whatever.
Well, it was the best in November Teats, if you guys don't know, we've got one of our members of the Crescent Lake Club is I'm not going to call him a hoarder. I'm going to be nice about it. He is a collector of things like sippers and popcorn buckets and the like. And so when we were there in November, he was on the hunt for that white light up Christmas tree with Mickey and Minnie. And we finally found it when we were leaving Magic Kingdom. He had to wait for like an eBay seller to order the 8 with no popcorn. And so he gets it and he walks over to have Woody and I hold the box of popcorn. And while he like tried to finagle this massive popcorn bucket into his backpack, and that box was gone. Like in the 2 minutes it took him to put the popcorn bucket into his backpack, it was just like we were just going feral. There's just something about that Disney popcorn.
But the beauty of the bucket is you can get the 99-cent refill.
So this was like, well, this wasn't even like one of the functional buckets. It's like something that's literally sitting on a shelf right now, just collecting dust.
Yeah. No, we do have a good collection of buckets. We'll probably get a new one just for posterity's sake. Because
this is one of those
99 cents, right? Unless it's gone up again.
I think maybe it's like $1.19.
$1.19, $1.29. I don't know. It's less than a few dollars, and it's so worth it. So worth it.
I'll slip Fletcher some quarters to cover the difference of that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Well, and then it's been. When was the last? Certainly, the last time you were there wasn't when you and I were there.
No, it was Mardi Gras a year ago.
Okay, that's right, Mardi Gras. You did go.
We were there. What, 2 weeks before the shutdown? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I had the baby, and they didn't reopen for a while. So it's been a year, which is the longest stretch that I've gone in a long time. A long time.
Well, we talked about. We brought it up on Sunday's stream that you were hoping that guest services would be able to help you out.
Oh, yes. Good news. Good news. I have my annual pass reinstated. Yay. I'm pulling it up right now. But yeah, I don't know. In all of the changes that they made, they something messed up with their system, and they were not allowing me to reinstate my annual pass. Because if you don't know, they're not selling new passes. The only way you can get an annual pass at this point is renewing or re-upping, like reinstating a pass that you had that you either canceled or it expired during the shutdown. And so I had canceled mine because I was having a baby. COVID I knew I wasn't going into the park anytime soon. And I was like, oh, I'll just get another annual pass whenever the next time I go. I had no idea. I don't think anybody had any idea that they were going to stop selling annual passes, right? Like it's crazy to me that they're still not selling new annual passes. But they fixed it. And it was a glorious day when I was able to put in my credit card, re-put in my credit card information.
When you were able to give Disney more money, essentially.
Yes. I was able to give them more money, yes.
Because on Sunday, she'd been on a whole, like, what do you think your cumulative time was? A little bit over 4 hours with
4 hours.
The different various stuff that you had to call. And when you texted me that picture of annual pass.
Yes. But I mean, between Mardi Gras and Keely's birthday weekend in April, it'll pay for itself between that, like between my ticket days and discounts on merchandise and food. Because Fletcher's going to want some merch. Marguerite's going to have to get some merch.
Marguerite needs baby's first princess dress.
We'll be oh, girl. Don't even. I have them right here.
Okay. She's already ready.
Santa brought her a Minnie Mouse and Cinderella from the Gap.
Hey.
So they're comfy.
Were you able to find a stroller?
Yeah, we got a stroller, double stroller. So we're ready. Hopefully Ratatouille will be open. I don't know if you've seen
I think it's really cool. Did you see the Gusto's sign was lit up tonight?
It's lit up. Disney Parks posted some stuff. I really think it's going to be it's going to be open by mid-February when we go.
Cast members are blocked out through, like, they're allowed to go back to Epcot the day y'all get there. So that makes me think that Rat is opening.
Why else would they block them out?
Yeah. So I think you're getting Rat. And what of y'all's getting Leslie?
Yeah. What do you like? Is there anything else that is missing in the France Pavilion? Because now, like, it's going to have a great ride. It's going to have a show. It's going to have dining from, like, every kind of dining.
Oh, and don't forget that new crepe is opening too.
The creperie, yes. The slushies, the Grand Marnier slushies at the front of the pavilion.
Even without a ride, France was already the most perfect pavilion anyway. But I'm probably saying that because I love France. I love Paris. Probably my favorite non-New Orleans city on the planet is Paris. So, I could eat at Chefs de France every time. Every time there's a festival, I have to get whatever the escargot offering is. I love the slushies. I love just sometimes when you're feeling a little boozy, you want a little Laurent Perrier champagne.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to treat yourself a little bit right there. Sometimes you just need some delicious ice cream or a ham and cheese croissant in the morning with a mimosa before everything else at Epcot opens up.
Yeah.
Or you just want to sit there and be judgy like a French person.
They reopen that.
Yes.
What?
Sometimes you just want to sit there and just people watch and be judgy like a French person.
Exactly. So I'm excited. I really hope it's open. Because that'll be probably the third new attraction that I'll get to ride. Because we have Mickey and Minnie's, which opened. There was like literally 10 days, I think 10 days or 14 days from when we were there last and when it shut down. And in that time, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, that ride, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
I want to say that the last day, so Whitty was there with us in January. Yes, because she just ran the marathon. And then I think they went back similar to this time of the year or either end of February, first week of March, right around when Rock and Roll Marathon was. And that's when she was there on opening day of Runaway Railway. I'm like, you're a jerk.
Nice.
And have you done Rise?
I've done the first part of Rise. I was pregnant, so I didn't get on the actual ride vehicle. So yeah, that'll be the third new attraction. So I'm super excited. But that's one of the reasons that I love Disney is because literally every time you go, even if you go as frequently as we do, like there's something new to experience. And they know what they're doing. That's why they keep creating new things so that we have reasons to go back. Yeah.
Hi, Whitty.
Opening day. Hi.
All right, so Beth, when did you guys go? It was roughly the same time last year. I couldn't remember the exact dates. I'm probably sure I could go and scroll back, but
it was after Mardi Gras. Cheers.
Oh yeah, Mardi Gras was kind of late.
I don't even remember anymore.
This has been the longest decade of a year in the history of the world. So yeah, there's always something.
There's new things, even changing up old things and making them new, which takes people off sometimes.
Yes, so people didn't react real great to the news that they were going to retheme Splash Mountain to feature my favorite Disney princess, although I'm not exactly sure how there's no mountains here in Louisiana.
No.
Definitely not in New Orleans. Like the closest thing is a speed bump. So I'm gonna have to suspend reality for that one a little bit. But retheming Splash Mountain to be Princess and the Frog. I think people are a little more open to this newest retheming announcement, which is another Magic Kingdom favorite, and that's the Jungle Cruise. And Disney's announced that they are going to, as part of like their inclusion and diversity program, they're going to change some elements of the ride to be a little more sensitive to different inclusion issues that may be featured on the ride, and then also give it more heart and make it more skipper oriented. Now, we don't know if they're going to do like what they did with Pirates of the Caribbean and put The Rock from the new live action Jungle Cruise movie in there, like they put Johnny Depp's audio animatronic in Pirates of the Caribbean. Feel like we'll just all have to wait and be surprised by that one. But for me, I like the Jungle Cruise. I saw the Christmas version for the first time when I was there in November.
Really?
But yeah, and it's really cute. Like I loved how the Jingle Cruise, it's great. It is one of the perfect examples of seasonal plussing that Disney can do for rides. And it's so easy. I wish they would do it for more things, to be honest. And like to switch it to Jingle Cruise, it's unlike Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. You don't have to take it down for a month and a half to turn it into Haunted Mansion Holiday.
No, what do they do? They add some lights, they change some jokes. Like
they slap some signs up and stuff and throw packages everywhere. I think does it even shut down for a day or two? I don't know.
No,
this is where
they can transform the entire park.
Come in and correct us. Yeah,
if they can transform the entire park overnight, they can transform.
They can transform Jingle Cruise, and it is so cute. But I can see there's probably some appropriation and some problematic things that could be changed. And it's really just as simple as changing up the script. So I'm excited to see new jokes. See kind of jokes. Yeah, and if they allow the skippers to have a little bit more freedom in how they ad-lib and what they can go out and do, because if there's one thing we do know, it's that cast members have a lot of personality and they are just dying to show it off at any given moment, especially the ones that get to be Jungle Cruise skippers, because that takes a special kind of person to be a Jungle Cruise skipper. So I hope they get a lot of
I'm excited.
leeway. Yeah,
I'm excited. Some of those animatronics need some refurb anyway.
They need some love.
And they need some love. And it's just a great ride. I've always loved it. I've always loved the puns. And I'm excited. And Walt Disney did not build a museum. He built a theme park. And it's always changing. And so people can be upset that it's changing, but it's still going to be there. And by all accounts, it's still going to have the same feel and same general theme. So I think we just need to be happy that it's not going away permanently, and look forward to whatever the changes may be.
And just in some cases, just look forward to things being open and back to normal, which we finally got our first announcement of the return of live entertainment to Walt Disney World. I swear, I don't even know if my email had finished pinging with the announcement before someone shot me a text message with a screenshot and said, I may need to be there for opening day. Teeth.
Festival of the Lion King is coming back.
I'm so excited. Yeah, thanks, Teeth. Great. We actually needed you. We needed your resident expertness here just a minute ago, and you weren't even watching. But yeah, so Festival of the Lion King is coming back. Summer? Do we have a start? We don't have a start date.
I don't think there's an official date. There's some. They've already said there's going to be some choreo changes. I don't know how they're going to be able to social distance the tumble monkeys, but who knows? At that point, maybe the tumble monkeys are vaccinated and the tumble monkeys can tumble all around. But they've already said there are going to be some changes. I'm assuming we'll have to sit further apart. I'm not seeing an announced start date. But y'all, I know the choreography to this show just from watching it. Like this is the best show, hands down, in my opinion. I see it every time. Even if I have to go sit in it by myself, I'll go see it at least once every time we're in Animal Kingdom. I love
Well,
Festival
then,
of the Lion King.
so then you're going
Wow.
to totally geek out in a few weeks when we have our Crescent Lake Club archive show. So our first one is going to be coming up. Date TBD. I should have an announcement tomorrow on what date and time that's going to be. Our first archive show is going to be Spectro Magic. And so I've got a whole bunch of my friends from back when I worked at Magic Kingdom in the 90s. And we're going to come and we're going to talk about Spectro Magic. But in the works following Spectro Magic, we are going to talk with cast members who opened Festival of the Lion King, the very first show.
It was in a whole different location.
Back when it was at Camp Mickey Minnie. Back when Titus Burgess was one of the singers. Like,
wait, really? I don't think I knew that.
He was an opening day singer for Festival of the Lion King. I know. Festival of the Lion King. We're going to talk about, we're coming up on the 50th birthday of Walt Disney World. We're going to kick it back to the 25th birthday. We're going to talk about my favorite day parade ever. And what I think is a totally groundbreaking parade was the 25th birthday or 25th anniversary parade. Remember the Magic. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one. It actually had parade stops where they would choreograph for people to come out onto the parade route and perform a routine with the characters and the dancers in the parade. It was incredibly cool, and I'm so excited for everyone to come and talk about that. And then we also have one of the things that people love, Tapestry of Nations. I've got friends that are ready to come and talk about Tapestry of Nations. So we've got a lot of stuff in the works at the Crescent Lake Club for archive shows. It's one of my favorite things is just to talk about entertainment history at Disney, especially since I got to be a part of it. But there are also some cool things to even just speculate on what it could be like in the future. And I know this is a hot rumor that Courtney is following even more so than the reopening of Festival of the Lion King. And if Teets was on this stream, he would be geeking out at the prospect of it too. And that is...
Yeah, so join in the chat. So I'm the least athletic person. Literally, I'm so unathletic. And for some reason, I'm obsessed with the Olympics. I watch the Olympics nonstop when they're on. This is a true story. When I found out that I was pregnant with my daughter and I found out that she was due in the summer of 2020, I was like, perfect. There are Olympics in the summer of 2020. And that means while I'm on maternity leave and up around the clock taking care of her, I can just watch the Olympics and it'll be the most peaceful
especially because it would be on Japan time. So overnight is a perfect time.
So I can watch things live. Well,
it'd be like, no, Josh, you take care of her during the day.
Yeah, let me watch the Olympics live and in person. Well, 2020 turned into a dumpster fire. The Olympics were postponed. They're still supposed to be in Japan this summer. However, Florida has said, hey, remember us? We did pretty well with the basketball thing. And we kept everyone relatively safe. So why don't we just have the Olympics here? So it's just a rumor at this point, but without a doubt, I will be in Florida all summer if the Olympics somehow make it to Florida this year. Because they've said we're open to it.
The craziest thing is actually hosting the Olympics and housing the athletes at places like the All-Stars
is doable.
It's way more realistic than when we were talking around this time last year about the NBA bubble and like, no, LeBron James isn't going to stay at All-Star movies.
Right.
Like that's just not going to happen. Right. These millionaire athletes aren't going to stay there. But I'd have to,
these Olympic athletes, it's wherever they stay is nicer than, where they're coming from. So,
you know what? I may have to reach out because I do know someone who kind of envisioned the entire plan for the NBA bubble. He used to work at Disney at one of the resorts and like kind of laid the whole groundwork for if Disney were to host the NBA bubble. Maybe I can get him on and we can pick his brain about just theoretically how would the Olympics work at Disney?
That would be so fun. Could you imagine? They have the capabilities to make food. They have the places to house everyone. Yeah.
Like literally, the All-Stars are probably better than any athlete's village that they're going to be staying in.
Yeah. So again, just a rumor at this point, for sure. It seems to me, it seems highly unlikely because it's February or January still.
You know, crazier things have happened.
Who knows? Crazier things have happened. I'm sure these athletes want to compete because they've said if it doesn't happen in 2021, they're not pushing it. Like the next summer is going to be in 2024. And so
because at least you've got Winter Olympics.
Yeah. But I just feel so bad for those athletes. Like it is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like in your, depending on what your sport is, you have 1, maybe 2 Olympics that you're eligible for, that they work their entire lives for. And if it doesn't happen, I'll be sad as a spectator, but I haven't spent my whole life preparing, my gymnastics routine for the Olympics.
You can go put a ribbon on a stick and start working on it.
Yeah.
Rhythmic gymnastics.
Throw some balls around. No. But,
so while Courtney is excited about the prospect of a potential occurrence at Walt Disney World, I'm not gonna totally write it off. I say there's probably like a 15% chance of it happening.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm saying there's a chance. Teets is like, I believe it when I see it, but I do hope the Olympics happen. Teets is also a really, really, really big Olympics fan. So for you, Teets, I hope they do happen. And for Courtney and for everyone out there who likes the Olympics.
Yeah.
For me, it'll just give me something to watch when I stay up in the middle of the night. So I'm not going to be really angry about that either. What I'm excited about is what's coming back to life for me is water parks.
Water parks.
I love water parks. Anyone that has traveled with me, especially to Florida, especially to Disney, especially anywhere, can tell you what is my favorite time? Pool time. I don't have a pool. Well, that's a lie. Over the summer in the pandemic, I had a lovely little blow-up pool in my backyard. That was amazing. It was my little life-saving.
It worked.
Slice of heaven. But no, I love pool time. And of all things, I know they're gross. It's fine. It's fine. There's so much chlorine. I love water parks. And so Universal hasn't announced the reopening of Volcano Bay, but they said it will be on or right after March 1st. But Disney got ahead of them, and they're reopening Blizzard Beach on March 7th.
On March 7th.
Which was a little bit strange to me. I figured they would open Typhoon Lagoon first because it feels like Typhoon Lagoon is open more of the year than Blizzard Beach is. Like Blizzard Beach is only open like 3 months out of the year or something.
Mm-hmm.
Typhoon Lagoon is my favorite, but I'm not going to be angry with Blizzard Beach.
Yeah.
It's still good. The theming is there.
Yeah. I haven't been to a Disney water park since I was a child. I'm very sad to say. I know. But when
there's just not enough time on my birthday trip to remedy all of these.
I know.
I'm going to have to prioritize. I'm sorry. Wine Cave goes first.
Teets has only ever been to Typhoon. We have to remedy that all together at some point. But yeah, I haven't been since I was a child. I'm sure they're so much different. But we'll make it there. Just haven't haven't had the opportunity.
Yeah. And it's just like, especially now living here, when I lived back in Texas, we had Hurricane Harbor, which is really just lipstick on a Wet and Wild pig. So, it's still the same. But, I grew up in Orlando. So going to you had your Wet and Wild annual pass, or you went to Typhoon Lagoon because that was the actual closer beach to get to than going to the real beach. Yeah.
Yeah.
So spoiled. So spoiled. I'm going to go to a beach at a water park when I can just drive 30 minutes further and I can be at like the real beach. But they're not sharks in the wave pool at Typhoon Lagoon. Nothing creepy touching me. But yeah. So I'm excited about water parks. It's great. It's another move towards a little bit more theme park normalcy. What we're starting to get stuff back. We're getting live entertainment back in the summer. I think we're going to get fireworks at Epcot back sooner than Teets thinks. I think we'll have fireworks for my birthday.
You do.
I think we're definitely going to have Rat. We're definitely going to have Rat. I think we're going to have Velocicoaster for my birthday.
Have what?
I think we're going to have the Velocicoaster at Universal by my birthday.
Are they still doing the pop-up fireworks at Magic Kingdom?
So those were like, I know when we saw them at Christmas, it was because of the projections for the holidays.
Gotcha.
Well, you'll see. You'll be there before I will.
Yeah, we'll see.
I do not plan on being in Magic Kingdom when it is dark enough for us to see fireworks from the castle.
Sounds good. I'll let you know.
I'm a Magic Kingdom here. So another thing that we were just literally talking about right before I hit go live, and we brought it up on Sunday because I feel like on Sunday, it was either Saturday or Sunday, La Cava, one of our favorite World Showcase bars, La Cava de Tequila, just kind of slid in a little announcement on their Instagram about a new actual dine-in, drink-in experience they were going to be launching called the Agave Experience. And Court, when did it show up? Like, was it Sunday, like at 10 or whatever on Sunday morning?
I think it was Sunday morning. No, it definitely was Sunday morning because I was grocery shopping and it was very early in the morning. And I thought, I need to text Keely, but I need to wait because there's no way she's up and I'm not waking her up with a text.
Don't worry, I put do not disturb on, so it's
So
and actually I think I was up by like 9 every day this week.
Look at you. Look at you. I'm already at the end of first period by 9 o'clock. But yeah, they posted this beautiful picture inside La Cava with all these glasses set. And we were talking on Sunday how much we just all wish we could just teleport to La Cava at that point, and sit in that cozy corner and enjoy some tequila tasting. But Keely got back some information about what this agave experience is and how much it costs and everything.
Yeah, so I'm going to just kind of give you the 3,000 or 30,000 foot view that they emailed me about. So it's called the Agave Experience. It is you have to have a minimum of 4 people, maximum of 6, and it is only 45 minutes long. So when I go through and tell you everything that is included, just remember, it is only 45 minutes. So they're really going to turn and burn everyone in this. It's also $100 plus per person, which is $100 plus tax and plus gratuity. But what it is designed to be is an overall experience for you to taste different tequilas and spirit preparations that are only available to La Cava del Tequila. So what it is it starts with a margarita. It's just your regular kind of La Cava with a special presentation. And then you get a shot of vodka to cleanse your palate.
Because that's what we need.
Because that's what
to
you
start
need.
your trip around the world.
And then you get to learn about all the different variations of tequila, a blanco, a reposado, everything, and you get to taste each one. So that's what, when you go and look at the pictures on their Instagram and you see a bunch of wine glasses, you're like, what kind of wine comes from agave? What kind of wine comes from Mexico? No, those are the glasses that they serve you the tequila in to try. So all in all, for the $100, it looks like you get 6 liquor offerings. So the margarita, vodka, and 4 different types of tequila, or 3 different types of tequila. And then to close the whole thing out, in case you haven't had enough, a shot of mezcal. Because why not?
Why not?
I mean, YOLO.
Salt and lime.
Salt, just a little bit of salt and lime. But the cool thing is they give you a cool little tasting plate that has different things like lime, lemon, chocolate chips, cinnamon, even grasshoppers, things that help you enhance, kind of like how we were talking about the flavor notes in the wine tonight, the grapefruit and a little bit of melon, and where I thought I got satsuma. These will help bring out all the different flavors in the tequila. And because you can't, as Teets in the chat found out, you got to eat something when you're drinking this hard. So there is chips and guacamole for you to snack on in your 45 minutes. Yeah, it just looks, oh, and then you get a walking drink. So yeah, that's 7. Something that's made with like a cream-based liqueur. So like what we know is like rum chowder or something like that. It's going to be, I meant to send you a picture. I got that Gambino's King Cake rum cream today at the grocery store. Have you seen that?
I did. I saw it at Rouse's on Sunday. It looks so good.
I was at Rouse's today. Yeah, I was going to text you the exact picture. I'm like, how many points do you think if I put a shot of this in my coffee, how many points is that going to be? All the days? Or
yeah. No, probably 4, 5, 6. Who knows? That sounds incredible. I think that's very reasonable for what you get. When you say $100 for 45 minutes, you're like, ooh, that's kind of steep. But considering what you're getting, I think that's because, like you said before we came live, a margarita with tax and tip is easily going to put you at $20.
$20.
So
yeah.
So to get that plus the other drinks, and I'm sure the host, I'm sure it's a learning experience as well. They're not just going to pour you and like say, have at it. They're going to say, taste this with whatever.
So it looks like from the pictures that I'm seeing, it looks like you get a tasting plate, like to smell things like coffee beans or a cinnamon stick, or you get rind of like lemon and lime just to try a little bit to go. But like, it's for sure the 3 straight tequilas you try are high end, and they're 2-ounce pours of really nice sipping tequila. And as someone who lives with, well, he was a tequila snob before he became a bourbon snob, I know how much that stuff costs. So, I mean, I feel like the email closed out with, if you like to book a time, and I feel like maybe, especially coming off a big brunch at Wine Bar George, this wouldn't be a terrible way to kick off drinking around the world.
Or terrible in the sense that that's a lot, but I think it could be really fun. We will then go eat carbs to soak up the alcohol. We will not make a rookie mistake and do this all in an empty stomach.
Why would we?
No. Listen. Get the popcorn. Get our popcorn refills.
Get a pretzel. Yeah, we're gonna need for my backpack. We'll just get a popcorn bucket and just keep it strapped on there, because I think, were you still around when we talked about birthday weekend outfits?
Yeah.
So who needs carbs? You did. Also, Teets in the chat is Ryan runs Disney on Instagram. He's also here on YouTube at rteets25. And boy, his video from his last installment of Teetsin' Around the World from hashtag not marathon weekend, is very special because Ryan drank around the world. You get to see, we all saw him live 3 weeks ago when he, phoned in. I can't use phone. He videoed in to join us on our Crescent Lake Club stream. He was in Germany and he was already not great. And if you know
Mexico, he didn't put on he didn't identify the correct Mexico flag.
Yeah, the kid had only had one drink, and he put Italy as the flag for Mexico.
Okay.
So if you are thinking about moving to Wisconsin and you have children, I just want to let you know this is what the Wisconsin public school system produces. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. But yeah, like we saw him in Germany, and it was rough. And we told him to go get a pretzel, and he didn't. We also told him to get a water, and he didn't. But children never learn.
No.
They never listen.
So yeah, you can contact La Cava directly if this is something you think you might be interested in starting or ending your trip around the world with, or maybe that's just the big thing you do for the day. But to me, it sounds incredible, and definitely on the list. It's on the list.
So he just responded, and he's like, "This is experiences for adults 21 and up, and will last 45 minutes with a cost of $100 plus per person, with a minimum of 4 guests and a maximum of 6 per tasting." I am going to email him back about availability, and I also want to ask if the party of 6 can include someone that is not drinking, so they can just watch everything and have a club soda or a tequila-free Paloma or something, and just be part of the 6. I think that's a fair question to ask. Reservations. But if this is something that interests you, I will put the email address on the Instagram and in the body of this video when we finish out. But it's LaCava, LACAVA, at palmasrestaurants.com, and they'll be able to slot you in. I don't know if they're gonna make you prepay or how it all works out, but the other thing is, in my party, if the person not drinking can't be in there, maybe she can just ride the Grand Fiesta ride over and over again, like she did the Yeti 10 times. That would be
I mean, you could probably ride La Fiesta like 100 times in 45 minutes because there's absolutely no wait to get on.
None. Why don't they ever why can't, this just baffles me. You have the best margaritas literally right there, and they kind of are pushing you over there. Why would they let you just take your margarita on that ride? That would be the most popular ride in
New Orleans.
I know. It's the worst. It's I think I told you, like, I had lunch with a friend at Disney back on marathon weekend, and when we were asking for checks, I'm like, yeah, I'll take another white one in plastic and my check. Here's my tables and my credit card. And they were like, I'm like, I'm sorry. It is just, it's just something. And then they're like, do you think they'll do that? I'm like, well, we'll see. And sure enough, here comes my little plastic glass of wine and my check. That's, I like going to Disney because it's the most like New Orleans without being remotely close to New Orleans.
I think it's worth noting that this is booked directly through La Cava. It's not through, you can't book it through My Disney Experience. This is not an ADR, Advanced Dining Reservation. La Cava is run by Palmas Restaurant Group, right? So you book it through them. Yeah. But I also kind of hope that this is a sign of things to return of these other extra experiences at Disney World, because some of those can be also really affordable and really ways to plus up your trip. in a pretty affordable way. You know, you think of Disney and how expensive it can be, but some of these extra experiences, like the elephant experience and the rhino experiences in Epcot and in Animal Kingdom, or the Keys to the Kingdom tours, for what the value you're getting for some of these extra experiences, they can just be really valuable. You can get a lot of bang for your buck, in my opinion, on some of these extra experiences. So I hope some of those start returning also.
Yeah, I'm holding out a hope that with the announcement of live entertainment and something that is not easily socially distanced, like a water park opening back up, that maybe we'll start to see some of these tours come back, maybe in smaller groups. But oh no, I mean, I'm planning so that my birthday day, that Magic Kingdom day, is a total Keels Trail of Tears day. And if I could get us all on the Keys to the Kingdom tour so y'all could see the Utilidor where I used to eat and get ready before parades and stuff, we are 100% doing that. It'd be worth every penny.
That's great. I would, if you've been to Disney World before and have any interest in backstage anything, you have to do the Keys to the Kingdom once they restart it. It's an incredible tour.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you straight out, no, it's not a conspiracy theory. There are really tunnels under Magic Kingdom. And yes, corners are stocked with cases of bottles of water, and there's food everywhere. Like, the capacity and the employees of the park could stay there for a finite amount of time in the event of some kind of disaster. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
they
incredible.
Also played, back when I worked there in the 90s, they played a lot of Steely Dan over the radio. So I want to go back down now just to kind of hear like what they play. Like, no, back in the 90s, they played like a local radio station. So I'd be interested to hear and see what it looks like now, because I know it's not Airmark anymore as a cafeteria or anything like that, and things are moved around. But yeah. But there are things that you can book directly with Disney, and that's resort trips and packages. And there are a whole bunch of really great offers and opportunities. Courtney, you want to talk about those for a second?
Yeah. So, like Keely said at the start of the show, we are both travel agents. Keely a little more full-time than I kind of do it on the side of my other job. And I know I do it just because I love Disney and I love helping people plan a magical vacation, and hopefully I can impart some of my expertise and experience of going to Disney as often as I do, and helping people plan their trip. Because especially during all this craziness, you can tell there's a lot to keep up with. What's open? When do you make reservations? What are the COVID restrictions? Like, there's a lot to keep up with, and clearly we keep up with it, so that we can help people plan their trips. And right now, Disney's got some amazing promotions going on. Pretty much.
I've got my eye on.
Yeah, I bet I know which one that is. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of like specific dates and whatnot, but basically any resort stay. So say you have an annual pass already, or you're able to get tickets through your employer or AAA or whatever. If you just needed a room package, you can save up to 30% on your room from now until July 10th. And that's huge. Like, these discount percentages are some of the highest I've seen since I've been doing this. That scales down based on like room category you have. Mm-hmm.
But if we're hoping that the vaccines have moved along and life becomes a little bit more normal, that means you're looking at still 30% off of a monorail resort with maybe 4th of July fireworks at Magic Kingdom.
That's incredible. And there's still availability. Like, every time I've looked for someone, it's not been this like what it was 2 or 3 years ago where it sells out the day of.
Courtney, where do you want to stay for July 4th weekend? And I'll pull up.
Let's do let's do a theme park at Contemporary. See what we got.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And while she's looking that up, let me tell you about the other promotion that's going on in Walt Disney World right now. And that's with select packages, if you buy a 3-day ticket, you get to add 2 days for free. So you're getting essentially a 5-day ticket for the price of a 3-day ticket. I have not seen that type of promotion, like free tickets, in the time that I've been doing this. I mean, Keely's been around doing this a little bit longer than I have. Have you ever seen a free ticket offer?
As someone that grew up in Florida, I haven't seen anything like this, to be honest, since 9/11.
Since 9/11, yeah. So it's better than free dining. It's better than the 30% room discount if you need tickets. It's a crazy offer. The amount of money I saved people for Mardi Gras, people who were already booked on a room discount, but then got to take the free tickets instead. It was not free tickets, the free days. It's a really great offer if you want to go for 5 days or more to Walt Disney World. I actually, when this discount came out, I had a bachelorette party that's going that they were just going to go for 3 days. And then they're like, we can get 2 extra days for free for the same price. Sure, we'll go for 5 days. So they extended their trip by 2 days because it didn't cost them that much more. So really great to look into if that's something that interests you. Have you pulled it up yet, or should I go? I'll wait to go on to the next one.
Yeah, no. So I have bad news. I have good news, bad news. There are no theme park or main building rooms available at the Contemporary for July 4th weekend. That's the bad news. Let me show you this good news. Because that's a Garden Wing standard for $378.
$178
at the Contemporary for July 4th weekend.
Y'all. $378. Yeah. That's insane. Yeah. I mean, you were like, that's rack rate for a moderate.
Yeah.
Right. That's like rack rate for a moderate during normal times.
Let's just take a peek and see what the place that I think is going to have fireworks before. Let's just take a look and see what July 4th weekend at Yacht Club looks like.
Keely's going to end up clicking book now.
Yeah, right. I just might. That's not terrible.
Nope.
There you go.
Yeah. So these are
2-bedroom suites within.
These are some great rates. If you can want to swing a trip, know that you're getting vaccinated sometime soon and want to go to Disney World between now and July. Of course, promotions for later in the year have not been released yet, but I'm thinking we're going to still have some good promotions later on in the year. I don't think this is the end of these great promotions. I don't know that they'll be as great, but I think we're in for some discounted rooms and other fun things going forward.
And so I'm going to throw this out there. I think people who travel to Disney occasionally, or maybe they're thinking that's going to be their first trip post-pandemic, and you've been once before because of the lure of the free dining, I think you need to adjust your expectations, and I don't see free dining coming back anytime soon, if at all, especially since Disney is not offering dining plans because they can't guarantee restaurant availability and openings. Like, some restaurants are only open on the weekends and different things like that. The better deal at the end of the day is these free ticket days, because even a 5-day ticket, that's $59 a day if you were paying for $59 plus tax per day if you were paying for a 5-day ticket. At least I have to go. But so awesome. That's right there. That immediately is better savings than a food plan where everyone is, it's free, but your room is higher price. These
Yeah.
discounts can stack on top of each other, whereas free dining, you can't combine it with anything else. It is just the rack rate on the room and free dining.
And I've been telling people who are upset about the dining plan, I get it. I know dining plan has its lovers and its haters. I love being on the dining plan when we stay on property. I do like having everything prepaid. But we just buy a gift card with the amount of money we think we're going to spend on dining, pre-buy it, buy it at Target, use my red card, get that 5% off. And it's already prepaid. Like I don't have to think about it when I swipe my credit card because I already have it on my gift card. So that's what I've been suggesting to people. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, and if you're used to the dining plan, you basically know what your kind of food expenditure is anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So just take that money that you were using for the dining plan and set that aside, because ultimately, I'm glad. This is going to be my hot take. I'm glad the dining plan has gone away for right now, because the food waste that I always would see from I have to order an appetizer and I have to order an entree, and all of this is just a little overwhelming to me. When sometimes I go to restaurants and I just want to try like 2 appetizers or an appetizer and a salad. I don't want to have all, or sometimes I'm not feeling dessert. I don't want to have all these extraneous things. So I will say that Disney has been really great in updating the menus with prices and offerings on My Disney Experience. So, and we can help out a little bit by kind of crafting a spreadsheet for you too that gives you an idea of what your dining plan alternative would be to put money on a gift card and just use that straight away.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of hoping they reimagine, if they bring back the dining plan, they reimagine how they structure it. I don't know, give a little bit more flexibility. Maybe I've heard some people suggest like maybe if they had did a point system instead of, I don't know. I think there's other ways. Disney's a lot more clever and a lot more creative than I am. So I think this, in the way that they've reimagined a lot of stuff post or during and post COVID, I think the dining plan could use some reimagining itself.
Yeah. And I think, like I said, we're going to be pretty much status quo with dining the way it is through this fiscal year, just because not every restaurant is open. They can't negotiate food prices and what a discounted rate for the dining plan that Disney would pay to the restaurants and to restaurants that are not owned by Disney, because there are quite a few, and quite a few really popular ones that aren't owned by Disney. Or aren't operated by Disney. They're operated by a Patina Group and different things, but they also still go on the Disney dining plan, and all that kind of stuff has to be negotiated. I'm hoping that they take this year to improve a lot of the waiting lists, a better reservation system, more walk-up transparency on what your waiting time is. So if you're in a park, you can put yourself on a walk-up waiting list. More mobile ordering. That's just a no-brainer. Everything should be mobile ordering.
We do not need to be choosing where we're going to eat dinner 6 months in advance. No. 180 days out. We don't.
And I think, they tried the $10
for some change.
Yeah, they tried the $10 fee to see if that would deter people from just hoarding reservations, and they still do it, and they still change them at the last minute with that loophole, or they just eat the $10 or whatever and go. And then servers who need the tips and things like that are left with an empty table. And I don't know why it took them this long to get to the waitlist concept. The virtual waitlist, it's so easy to automate everything, and you don't lose a person. You actually add an extra person to help seat tables, and you're just creating more jobs by doing it. So that
we'll see how this moves forward.
What about my favorite resort offer?
So Aulani, which if you don't know is the Disney resort out in Hawaii. It's not a theme park. It's just a resort out. It is not just a resort. It is a resort out in Hawaii. They are offering up to 30% for a 5-night stay or longer, which, let's be honest, if you're coming from the mainland to Hawaii, you're going for at least 5 days. You're probably not going to just jet over there for a 2-day trip, but 30% off for 5 nights or longer. Again, another great deal, another great discount out there in Aulani.
And what are the dates running for that one? I'm just going to call up a reservation so you can kind of see what we're looking at.
I think it's through May. Shoot, I didn't have.
I'm just going to do 5 days around my birthday because I know those days.
I want to say May 18th, but
okay.
That could be
just
another
to give people an idea.
Yeah. Keely, have you been to Aulani?
No, but Woody has like 4 times.
Ugh.
I know. She's lucky I love her.
I think we'll make it there in the next few years. My mother-in-law really wants to go back to Hawaii. May 28th.
Okay.
Oh, no. Sorry. Book through May 28th, travel through June 10th. So.
Oh, well, that gets you into the summer for sure.
A long time. Yeah. If you're a teacher, I know a lot about this, and you've had a stressful school year. Maybe you're teaching in person. Maybe you're teaching virtually. Maybe you're teaching hybrid. Maybe it changes every week. You need a vacation. So why not go to Hawaii and sit at their beautiful pool and sip on some Hawaiian cocktails and enjoy yourself? Because with travel through June 10th, most schools will be out by then. There's some new flights.
I will say Hawaii is not cheap in general.
No.
So here is what I'm looking at in April, which is I'm looking at 5 days, 5 nights, the weekend after Easter, which apparently is still a high weekend pretty much everywhere. So these rooms are normally $700.
Yeah. But like she said, if you've ever been to Hawaii, Hawaii is expensive.
Yeah. And so it's, they are larger rooms. So I can guarantee you these are bigger than the Marriott Vacation Club and the JW right next to it because they have 2 queen beds and a sleeper sofa.
So you can fit 5 adults in there, right?
Yeah. Yes.
4 or 5, yeah.
And then you can do
the studio's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, so the studio is the same size as a studio if you stayed at Boardwalk or Beach Club, like any kind of DVC studio. It's going to be the same setup. The queen size bed, the queen size sleeper sofa. Aulani just doesn't have that little console pull down bed, which is weird because it was built right around the same time they started renovating all of these DVC units to include the little pull down bed. But
so yeah, some great rates out there. But with any of these vacations, Keely and I can help you book them. Especially with Disney, we can help you as much. We can do nearly every bit of your planning. If Fast Passes ever return, we can help book your dining. Or we can do as little as possible. And our services are free. It does not cost you anything extra. But we're just here to help you and make your vacation as great as it can be. Any Disney property, any cruise line, pretty much anything that you click book it, we can book it for you and help you.
We can help you out. Yeah, especially now that everyone's starting to get vaccinated. It looks like summer may be summer into fall, when things can get back to normal. You may finally be going back to work in your office, though. Boy, you may have missed getting out of that leisure wear at home to go back to an office. This is the only time I've actually only put on real clothes to stream. Otherwise, I'm in workout stuff. It's the only time I put on makeup and do my hair. But anything you can think of, anything into 2022. We've missed Thanksgiving, Christmas. We're going to miss Easter with families. Maybe it's a good time to do a family reunion or a big family trip in 2022 or at the end of 2021 to make up for all those lost memories. We can help you with that. It can be Disney. It can be, I'm not going to say a cruise just yet, But we'll keep you posted on that.
They'll come back on board.
Yeah, all inclusives. You name it. We can even find you fun cabins if you want to go to like Gatlinburg or something really, really fun or beach houses, things like that would be great too when it's safe to all get together again, do really great family gatherings and all live it up and celebrate that you can be back together again. All things we can handle. The sky is the limit. You just kind of tell us what you're thinking. We're boutique travel agents. We don't have to go by a catalog. We don't have to go by a list. The sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Just let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah. And we're here to help.
Yep. So I think my first wine down
good.
Really well.
I think it went great. Yeah. Cheers. Virtual cheers.
Virtual cheers.
Cheers, whoever's watching.
I know, right? So next week,
I'll choose the wine. It'll probably be a red because
it's going to be Courtney loves red wine. So it'll be a red.
So,
I also think I'm going to do a little pre-video and to start us off, show y'all how to recreate the Baseline Tap House charcuterie board at home so you can get a little bit of Disney at home. Impress your friends, impress yourself. Definitely do it for the gram.
Have some snack while you
have a snack while you have a wine with us or have some wine with us and talk Disney and tune in on Sunday. Follow us on Instagram at Crescent Lake Club. You'll get all the details on our next stream. We've got a Disney, like I said, we've got a Disney Archive stream coming up on Spectro Magic, which is either going to be this weekend or next weekend. I'll let you guys know for sure on Instagram on Thursday. That's tomorrow. Where did the week go? It feels like it was just Sunday.
It's been a hell of a week.
Oh my God. It really has. But thank you guys for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. See you next time. Have a great week. Bye.